Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, chapter entitled Killing of the Demon Aghasura. Text 6 to 11 we will see. So I'll just chant text 6. Yadhi duram gatah krishno vanasho vekshanayatam aham purvam iti samsprashyade mere. Translation. Sometimes Krishna would go to somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. Then all the other boys would run to accompany him, each one saying, I shall be the first to run and touch Krishna, I shall touch Krishna first. In this way, they enjoyed life by repeatedly touching Krishna. Text 7 to 11. So we will chant 11th verse together. The first individual words. Last verse, 11th verse. Word to word. Word to word. Okay. Yes. Third line. So please repeat. Ittam. In this way. First I should chant. Okay. Go to the verse. Sorry. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya. Dhasyam gathanam paradaivatena. Dhasyam gathanam paradaivatena. Maya shutanam naradharakena. Maya shutanam naradharakena. Sakham vijahru krita punya punjaha. Sakam vijahru krita punya punjaha. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya. Dhasyam gatanam paradaivatena. Maya shrutanam naradharakena. Sakam vijahru krita punya punjaha. Please chant. Mataji's. Nityam. In this way, Satam of the transcendentalists, Brahma Sukha Anubhutya, with Krishna, the source of Brahma Sukha. Krishna is Parabrahman, and from him originates his personal effulgence. Dasyam, servitorship, the Dhanam of the devotees who have accepted. Paradhaivatena, with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya Ashridhanam, for those in the clutches of material energy. Naradharakena, with him who is like an ordinary child. Sakam, along with Vijahru, enjoyed. Krita Punya Punjaha, all these boys who had accumulated the results of life after life of pious activities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya, ISKCON and BPT. Translation: all the boys would be differently engaged. Some boys blew their flutes and others blew bugles made of horn. Some imitated the buzzing of the bumblebees and others imitated the voice of the cuckoo. Some boys imitated flying birds by running after the birds' shadows on the ground. Some imitated the beautiful movements and attractive postures of the swans. Some sat down with the ducks sitting silently, and others imitated the dancing of the peacocks. Some boys attracted young monkeys in the trees. Some jumped into the trees imitating the monkeys. Some made faces as the monkeys were accustomed to do, and others jumped from one branch to another. Some boys went to the waterfalls and crossed over the river, jumping with the frogs, and when they saw their own reflections on the water, they would laugh. They would also condemn the sounds of their own echoes. In this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of the Brahman effulgence for Jnanis desiring to merge into the effulgence, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship, and who for ordinary person is but another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the results of pious activities for many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their great fortune? Purport: as recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami, Tasmat Kena Upayena Manah Krishna Niveshayat Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.4. Somehow or other, whether one thinks of Krishna as an ordinary human child, as the source of Brahman effulgence, as the origin of Paramatma, or as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should concentrate one's full attention upon the lotus feet of Krishna. That is also the instructions of Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Srimad Bhagavatam is the easiest way of directly approaching Krishna. Ishvara Sadhyo Hridaya Avarudhyate Tatra Kritibhi Shushrushubhis Tat Krishnat Tat Kshanat. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2. Diverting even a little of one's attention towards Krishna and activities in Krishna consciousness immediately enables one to achieve the highest perfection of life. This is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. Lokasya janato vitvams chakre shatpata samhitam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.6. The secret of success is unknown to people in general, and therefore Srila Vyasadeva, being compassionate towards the poor souls in the material world, especially in this age of Kali, has given us the Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. Srimad Bhagavatam 12.13.18. For Vaishnavas who are somewhat advanced or who are fully aware of the glories and potencies of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam is beloved Vedic literature. After all, we have to change this body, tata dehantara prapti. If we do not care about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we do not know what the next body will be. But if one adheres to these two books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, one is sure to obtain the association of Krishna in the next life. Tektva deham punarjanmana iti mameti so Arjuna. Therefore, distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world is a great welfare activity for theologians, philosophers, transcendentalists, and yogis, yoginam api sarvesham, as well as for people in general. Janmalav parah pumsam ante narayana smitihi. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.6. If we can somehow or other remember Krishna, Narayana at the end of life, our life will be successful. Amagyanatimarandasya Gyananjanashalabe Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatkripadamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dindaranam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradhaivatena Maya Ashritanam Naradharakena Sakam Vajahru Kutta Punya Punjaha. Translation. In this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of Brahman effulgence for jnanis desiring to merge into that effulgence, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship, and who for ordinary person is but another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the results of pious activities for many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their great fortune? So, very important verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada quoted often Krita Punya Punja when explaining the glorious position of the cowherd boys, so who are playing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, serving Him as a friend, as a Saka. So how fortunate they are. So sorry, it's a very shloka also for the book distributor. It's sorry that you have to hear from me, Gaur Bhagavan Prabhu, who distributed so many Srimad Bhagavatam, would have given class, but you didn't accumulate enough punya. Krita punya punjaha. So the previous verse will come from text 6. It's an interesting line is there. Aham purvam, aham purvam. Aham means I, purvam means first. So Krishna would run to a distant place with some friends to see the beauty of some particular place in the forest, and all the friends will run in competition. What is the competition? I will touch Krishna first. I will touch Krishna first. So I am first. I am first. Very familiar in this world. Uh, the whole world is running because of this. I want to be first. Uh, so this is the fuel, crude oil, which is generated, which is running the entire universe. I am first, I am first. Why Krishna? Why others? I am first, I am first. Aham Purvam, Aham Purvam. I first, I first. This is exact description of the material world, and it seems this is exact description of the spiritual world also. So, as we learned from our acharyas, all the qualities which exist in this material world also exist in spiritual world. Rather, because it is there in spiritual world, it is there in this material world, including lust, anger, etc., etc. But when it is dovetailed in Krishna consciousness, it is spiritual. When it is used for selfish cause, then it is material. So we can see when Mohini Murti got this nectar, Amrita. So one side they were devotees, asuras, one side were there suras, devotees and demons, demigods and demons. So everybody chanted the same verse, Aham Purvam, I first, I first. When the vaccine was produced first, there was very less quantity. Everybody was competing. I first, I first. And now they are telling why I had put the vaccine. So this is the result of material world. I first, I first. You first, then you are lost. So these demigods, they got the nectar. So this is the vaccine for all disease and for death, almost. They don't die, but they have to give up the body. So ultimately, so these demigods, they ate that nectar, but still they are always afraid of demons. When there is fight between Hiranyakashipu and Narsimha, initially they were throwing flowers and clapping hands and playing music. They understood now this is going to be the end of another new beginning. But then Narsimha was a bit playing. He pretended as if he will lose. He wants to play sometime. And these demigods got scared. My God, I clapped hands, threw flowers. This Hiranyakashipu saw us. Now something, who knows what Vishnu will do. Again they went behind the clouds. Something, Vishnu may plan something, and again this fellow is going to punish us, Hiranyakashipu. He saw us clapping hands. And now Agasura, Pakasura, any demon come, these demigods are afraid. So what is the point? They took nectar, vaccine for all the disease and death, and still they are afraid. And this Prahlad, who is 5 years old boy, small boy, is fearless. All the demigods, they requested Lakshmi Devi to approach and pacify Narasimhadev, but she didn't want. So Bhagavatam says she was also fearful. She was not sure if it is Vishnu. She has never seen this Adbhuta form. So she was not sure, and Prabhupada in a lecture he said due to her chastity she didn't want to approach. Fear is one factor, but chastity, Prabhupada said. Why chastity? Because she didn't know that he's her husband. So without knowing how a chaste lady will approach another man. So Lakshmi didn't approach because of her chastity, Prabhupada said in lecture. So then Prahlad, who was 5 years old, was completely fearless. It is fearful, imagine Lord coming with so much anger, So definitely it is fearful, but for devotee, of course, Prabhupada elaborated in the purport. Lakshmi ji is also a great devotee, so why she was fearful? Due to Leela Shakti, Prahlad has to come forward. This is his time to play. So due to Leela Shakti, she was covered. So Prabhupada explained how a devotee is fearless in any circumstances. Even Lord takes a fearful form, still a devotee is fearless. Because for him there is anything self, everything he is doing for Krishna's sake, and there is no fear for him. Only when, what is it, shloka? Bhayam dvitiya What is it? Anybody know this? So anything other than Vishnu, if we are conscious of, then the bhaya comes, fear comes. So Prahlad, there was no fear. And here you can see same coward boys, we're going to see the text soon, that they are all entering into Aghasura, but they are all clapping hands, dancing, singing, and happily, entering. Even sometimes in little Krishna they show they are fearful, this and that, but we can understand it's all for pastime's sake. So they're all great devotees, Nitya Siddhas, they have no fear. And for sure, in few verses when Prahlad started praying, in one of the prayer, Prahlad said, I am fearful of this Maya. And Prabhupada said, this is the quality of a devotee. Just few verses before he said, Prahlad is fearless of any circumstances, and after few verses, and Prahlad said, I am fearful of Maya. Prabhupada said, yes, this is the quality of devotee. So of course, in that case, Prahlad is representing a neophyte devotee, where a neophyte devotee should be afraid of Maya, and that is called healthy fear. Many times we are not fearful of Maya. That is a big problem. Right royally, we venture into a place where it is not Krishna conscious, purely not Krishna conscious. So, angels dare not, devils fly. Angels dare not. So devils, so happily they enter in some place where angels will not dare. So sometimes we see some non-Krishna conscious things we so right royally do in our life. It's not something subconscious, it's not something unknowingly, whereas conscious effort we do. So this is where Maya begins. So Prahlad is instructing us we should be fearful of Maya, and that's healthy fear. Okay, coming back. So we should be fearless. And these pastimes we are hearing, Aghasura, Bakasura, Putana came, Trinavarta came, all big demons. And when we hear a story, we are laughing, clapping hands, oh nice, how Krishna, great, devotees. Now imagine Aghasura enters now in Sankirtan hall. Now we'll clap hands. When we hear a story, it is nice. When Aghasura comes here, then we will know. So, are we fearless? Aghasuras is a snake. Snake is fearful. For some, even cockroach is fearful. What to speak of snake? So are we devotees? So healthy competition. So here competition is there in spiritual world also, but that is for the pleasure of Krishna. So to inspire each other, there is competition. So if I go fast, if I go first, then others will be more inspired. They will also, compete and do vigorous devotional service. So that is the devotee. When there is a competition among devotees, Srila Prabhupada encouraged book distribution competition among temples, among devotees. So the whole idea is it's a healthy competition to inspire each other and ultimately for pleasing Krishna. So some descriptions in the other verses about playing some games. So Vijay Gopinath gave enough description last Sunday about various games from Krishna Krida. So these games, being city boys, when we look at these village games, they play this goli, and what is that, bambaram, spinning thing. All this looks cheap and low class. The city boys, we don't do all these things. But Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the origin of all the demigods, all the universes, creator, maintainer, and who is the greatest personality, he is taking pleasure in playing these so-called, village games. We need, what is that? Virtual games. All these gaming, video games, All these are, city boys, which is useless for body, mind, and what to speak of spirit. But whereas the traditional games had some purpose, so it is good for body or mind or spirit. So in that way, whereas the modern games, you can see it's polluting in all levels: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. All these games, today's competition, people committing suicides, IITs, so many people committing suicides. Last academic year, 20% of IITians are yet to be placed. So this is the situation. Slowly we are heading to a very bad condition. So why? Because we are not hearing Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. People should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, then they can be happy. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead playing these games, no smartphones, all these village games, and it is relishable. And now Aghasura, Agha means sin. Agha means sin, right? So Aghasura. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, each demon represents one particular demoniac quality. So he elaborates Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So for Aghasura, what quality is given? Mentality of cruelty to others and violence, and causing trouble to others out of envy. This is a quality of snake. Aghasura was a snake, right? Poisonous snake. Came to disturb Krishna's devotees. Oh, this is very bad. Disturbing Krishna is one thing, but if you disturb Krishna's devotees, this is worst of any sin. So Aghasura was dare enough to do this sinful activity. Want to swallow and destroy all the devotees of Krishna. So this is the mentality of snake. Cruelty to others and violence, causing trouble to others out of envy. This envy is burning in the heart of the snakes and poison, scorpions. You can see all these very nasty jivas having such a nasty vasanas, nasty karma. So we were all in the body of snake. We were all in the body of scorpions. Fortunately, here we have got this Krishna conscious. So now there's an interesting thing how Krishna has to kill Aghasura. Killing demon, if you kill Putana, which Krishna did, if you kill Trinavrata, or if you kill Bhaka, Agha, whatever, any demon you kill, basically what do you expect? All his body is collapsed, right? All his body is smashed or bursted or destroyed. Now Krishna has to kill Aghasura, but inside Aghasura's body, all devotees are there. So he has to kill him without disturbing devotees. This is bit, how you call, some strategy has to be worked out. Usually in Kali Yuga, when we describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, or even when they describe the glories of Jesus, they say, kill the sin, not the sinner. We should. So Kali Yuga avatar, they don't kill us, but whereas they kill the asuric mentality inside, not the person as such. But here is opposite. You have to kill the external, not the internal. Krishna has to kill Aghasura, but the devotees inside has to be saved. So it's an opposite technique Krishna has to use here. And Krishna did. He is very expert in everything. And he saved the Aghasura also, the soul, the real Aghasura. He saved, he liberated, he gave him greatest position. So, if you want to be, there was a terrorist attack in Mumbai many years ago. So, terrorists had kidnapped many citizens and they have arrested them not in the house but in the Taj Hotel. So police had a very difficult job, something similar to this. You have to kill the terrorist, but with the terrorist there are good citizens. So you have to save the citizens but kill the terrorist. So they had applied followed the same footsteps of Supreme Personality of Godhead and achieved success. So yes, we are snakes. We are here in this material world. We are all envious of Krishna, and therefore we had come here. But if you want to be demon, Prabhupada said, yes, I know you are a rascal, but don't remain as a rascal. So, but if we want to be a demon, like a snake, better to be Kaliya, who is also a snake. But of course, Kaliya had so fortune. Krishna didn't kill Kaliya. It's the only demon whom Krishna didn't kill. Rather gave so fortune. And one main reason why Kaliya was saved is because of his wife. Kaliya's wives were devotees. So devotees started praying. Initially when Krishna was dancing and Kaliya was oozing all the poison out of him, so they didn't pray that Krishna save Kaliya. They said, nice, you dance, this is great fortune. But then once all the poison came out of Kaliya, he started vomiting blood. So if you ask our doctor Archananda, he will say if any pus forms in the body, so in the healing stage, first the pus comes out, and once blood started coming, means it's the curing stage. So similarly, Kaliya was spitting poison first, and after some time he started spitting blood. So immediately the Nagapatnis, they changed the prayers. Oh, it seems he is getting cured. Now Krishna, please save him. So Krishna started dancing, and Kaliya, on the due course of the dancing drama, he cured Kaliya's poison. He didn't kill. So Kaliya started repenting. So then the prayers of Nagapatni saved Kaliya. So these are all amazing activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can go on relishing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, and all these acharyas have given such an input, such a fortune, Krita Punya Punja. It's very clear, all acharyas explain, Jiva Goswami, Vishnu Chakritakur, very clearly they say that this punya doesn't refer to material piety, rather it is only referring to the Sukruti, the spiritual Sukruti. No matter of any amount of material piety will not yield us any bhakti. Only the spiritual Sukruti, only bhakti gives rise to bhakti. This is very clear. Now, even we are so fortunate actually, if we understand our situation, what Srila Prabhupada has given us. So, he has actually created a spiritual world. There is 108 Divya Desham, we call for Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, all verse. If any one of them had visited some temples, then the temple becomes Divya Desham. So it's not Lord per se, but because a devotee has visited, the place becomes transcendental place, Divya Desham. So Prabhupada need not even personally visit a place. Even his own book, one page, even it visits some place, it becomes transcendental. It becomes Divya Desham. So he has given this fortune. He has created Vaikuntha, he has created Goloka in all these various parts of the world, and he has given us this great opportunity to relish this Krishna consciousness, chant, dance and be happy. But are we using this fortunate position? So sometimes due to Maya, we start wondering why I am here, why I have ended up here in Karpur. I was in Singapore. I had plans going Singapore. Now I ended up in Karpur. Karpu means black, the black hole. What I am doing here? Sometimes we wonder, become so, mechanical devotional service, and the association becomes bitter, the service becomes bitter. So why it is so? Because we will see Prabhupada, a very similar verse will be coming in next chapter. So this Sukruti comes from hearing and attentive chanting. If we don't do this, then we start thinking this fortune as misfortune. So therefore we should be very careful in doing our sadhana bhakti. Even an outsider, many months ago, as usual, a devotee who is not fixed ups and downs, loses enthusiasm. So I was a bit depressed and this, that. An outsider came, started preaching to him. 10-15 minutes I preached, he was happy, he took a book, and he started glorifying me. Glorifying me means he started glorifying my fortunate situation. Then I start wondering, it's true what he's saying. I started preaching to him. I wanted to preach to him. At the end, I took lessons from him. Then I started wondering, oh, really I'm fortunate, no? Even a karmi who just walked in, he realized it. And sometimes we forget it. That's the power of Maya. And another point is preaching. Any brahmachari or any devotee, any service we do, sometimes we do some part of our time we should spend for preaching to new people or to devotees. Somebody we should preach. Go out, or when the people come, just little 5 minutes, 10 minutes we spend. That will enliven us. Brahmachari especially should be engaged in frontline preaching. So any other service, yes, we are busy with other activities, but preaching, if we can do 10-15 minutes, that will inspire even us. You go out door to door, see how people are struggling. Or you just ask congregation devotees, even don't go outside, ask congregation devotees. Hear from them different stories. We are, the brahmacharis are so fortunate, or relatively devotees who are situated, congregation devotees who are situated near a temple are even more fortunate than those who are far. So like this, we have got this fortune, but due to our own anarthas, we create this greatest fortune into misfortune. After millions and millions of life, we have got this, how many lives we have taken birth, struggled, birth, death, old age, disease, and at last, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata is the seed of devotional service, is sprouting. And again we want to Punarmushiko Bhava, go back into the material world. So why? So we have to see, we have to read, hear, preach, engage in service. So otherwise, suffering. So therefore, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada amazingly again emphasizing book distribution, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. So many devotees, Guru Maharaj, of late is pushing Srimad Bhagavatam sets, Bhagavatam sets, Bhagavatam sets. So many devotees are doing this great service, distributing these books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Atlanta, Krishna Life devotees, you can see stories, Mahotsav Prabhu, different stories every time. So enthusiastic, breaking his own records, thousands of books every day distributing. So this is the purpose of all the preaching. Srila Prabhupada, yes, do the needful, that is there. At the same time, book distribution is always the priority and given importance. So, but when our authority is giving some other service, we should understand that when the Guru Parampara, when the authorized representative is giving us some service, so we should be inspired to do it. So we should not be in a Kanishta level saying that no, I will just do this service, not that service. That's very beginning level. So of course, not that you should not be fired up. In case sometimes, yes, we are not yet in that level. If we are somewhat attached to some service, and if we feel that we are lacking Krishna consciousness, we can request our authorities, Prabhuji, please give me this service. It's fine. Definitely, devotees should be fired up, inspired to do the service, but understanding should be there. Recently, there was Sankirtan camp in Atlanta. Many Prabhupada disciples were there. So, very amazing lecture. Mukunda Datta Prabhu gave one lecture on Narasimha Appearance Day. Amazing lectures, so nectar, so delicious. So, one question was asked that by Mahotsav Prabhu, that sometimes book distributors are criticized, saying they are passionate, too much material passion. So different Prabhupada disciples gave different answers. Some replied, it is transcendental from the beginning. There is no question of material passion. But there is one Prabhupada disciple who said, yes, it is transcendental. Just like cooking for Krishna. Definitely it's transcendental. But if I put salt in the place of sugar, it is no more transcendental. Service is transcendental. But if I am careless in my service, then I am messing up. I cannot climb due to some transcendental emotion. I had put salt in the place of sugar. So maybe I am doing book distribution, but if I am doing some mistake, then that is not going to yield a transcendental result. So we should be very careful what we are doing. So this Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amalam Puranam. And the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree, the king of all fruits, is mango, right? So Salem is famous for mangoes. Mango city, you can see they have painted in the bridges. Welcome to the mango city. So Salem is known for mangoes. But this temple should be known for giving this ripened fruit, mango. You can give mango along with SB. SB means Salem Bengaluru. Why it is called Salem Bengaluru, I wonder. No, they should say Salem Bengaluru. I think this kind of fruit is available from Salem to Bangalore, this stretch. Maybe therefore it got this name, Salem Bengaluru. So SB means Srimad Bhagavatam and Salem Bengaluru. So we can give one Salem Bengaluru along with the Bhagavatam set, no harm. So Salem Bengaluru, now we have to pronounce it. They have changed the name. Bengaluru. So Prabhupada in a purport, he said, here we have got in India especially so nice literature, Vedic literature, essence of Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. It is recommended that Nigama means Vedas. Nigama is compared with a tree. Nigama Kalpataru. Kalpataru means desired tree. From Vedas, you can take all kinds of education, knowledge. Therefore, it is called Kalpataru. So, as of the tree, there are fruits and ripened mangoes, ripened and unripened also. Just like a mango tree, there are fruits, green mangoes and ripened mangoes. The ripened mango is very interesting. Matured fruit, immature fruit. So we have to take the matured fruit, and we have to be also matured. If we are immature, then of course we can make pickles, that's different. But if you expect mango juice from, yes, we make mango juice also, raw mango juice, that's another thing. So, but I hope you understand. So what I mean, get Salem Bengaluru. The ripened mango is very interesting. So Srimad Bhagavatam is a ripened mango of the desired tree of Vedic knowledge. Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukha Mukhat. And everyone knows that if the ripe fruit in the tree is tasted by the parrot, it becomes twice tasteful. Anybody knows the science behind this? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana is there, but external science. How it is said that if a bird touches a fruit, the fruit becomes even more tastier. So, 2-3 different description I heard. I guess maybe everything is correct. So, one description I heard is the bird knows which is very sweet and he touches that. That is one interpretation I heard. Another interpretation I heard is, when there is some wound in some particular place in the body, so the system supplies more blood to that particular place to heal fast. So when the bird creates that wound, you call it wound in the fruit or in the mango or any fruit. So the tree supplies more energy to that particular fruit and makes it even more ripened. I don't know, maybe there is some more explanations. I heard something interesting. So, Sukhamukha Amrita Dravya Samyutam Pibata Bhuvi Bhavuka Rasamalayam. These are the recommendations. So people are not interested. It is a great matter of regret that in India, where these literatures are available, where the sages and saintly persons left for us such a nice literature, Vidya Bhagavatavati, the limit of all education, Srimad Bhagavatam. They are not interested. They are interested in some other Karl Marx literature, not Bhagavatam. This is India's misfortune. So anyway, if somebody is interested, it is great fortune, because such kind of instruction as they are available in Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, they are Apavarghavardinam. So the whole temple we are building here, the purpose is Srimad Bhagavatam should be distributed. So all corridor you can see Bhagavatam, 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 Gita in the front, Bhagavatam in the behind, 18,000 slokas. Why we are putting? Nobody can read. Sanskrit, it's tall, fixed. All the panels, Bhagavatam panels are going to be fixed on the very height. Nobody is going to read. Why we are fixing all these panels? For what? So, people should ask, for what? Then we will answer. What we will answer? It is Srimad Bhagavatam. Anything you see here is based on Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you want to be happy, chant, dance, and take feast like us, then you take the Srimad Bhagavatam. So at the end of all this corridor where all 12 cantos dioramas are displayed, there is playground for book distributors, Deva Deva Prabhu and others. They are going to throw Bhagavatam on all the people who come. So the whole purpose of temple should be to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam and Gita and other literatures. So, for example, a mango tree is considered very valuable because it produces the king of all fruits, the mango. When the mango fruit becomes ripened, it is the greatest gift of the tree. And Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly held to be the ripened fruit of Vedic literature. So Prabhupada is very fond of Bengali sweets, rasgulla. So once when devotees were eating in Vrindavan on the road, buying from shop, Srila Prabhupada was passing by car and suddenly he stopped. And devotees are all eating. Now rasagulla in the hand, jeera is, dripping, and some having rasagulla in their mouth. And Prabhupada car stopped. So what do you expect? Prabhupada Bengali sweet, they all said. And Prabhupada said, real Bengali sweet is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So from Salem we will distribute Bhagavatam and we will distribute the sweet of Bengali also. So Chaitanya Charitamrita. So such an amazing fortune we have. But if you note one particular statement in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, for Vaishnavas who are somewhat advanced and who are fully aware of the glories and potencies of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam is beloved Vedic literature. So you should understand, we should understand, if we are not attracted to Bhagavatam, that means either we are not devotees or we are not even little advanced. So same mango, there is three portions. One is skin, one is the flesh, one is seed. These jnanis, they eat the skin. Karmis chew the seed. And devotees take milkshake from the fresh pulp. So we have to decide who we are. They may have Srimad Bhagavatam, they may discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, they may be apparently devotees. But if they are not attached to Lord, that means you understand they are either karmis or jnanis. So we should develop this attraction to Srimad Bhagavatam. Mango, yes, but which portion of mango? In spiritual world, of course, there is no seed, there is no spoiled portion, there is no carbonate, artificially ripened mangoes, all organic. You don't have to soak it for 1 hour. There is no heat generated. It's all soothing, no kapha pitta vata, unlimited mangoes. You can swim. Interesting. So, but we have to qualify ourselves. Aham purvam, I first. My seat. Where is my position? 20 years I'm in ISKCON. What is my post? Why nobody is listening? I'm senior devotee. So if all these verses are sung, then we cannot for sure get this fortune. So it's our pleasure, greatest fortune Srila Prabhupada has given, that so we have to decide, are we devotees or demons, devatas or asuras. So it's amazing. Such a nectar is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So many acharyas have given such an amazing, delicious nectar. And then Guru Maharaj, you can see Vishnu Sahasranam is quoting from so many sampradayas, so many acharyas. So how much nectar is there? Recently, one Vishnu Sahasranamam, I forgot the name. The title was Krishna as the food for his devotees, something like that. Bit appearing strange, but if you hear, you understand how amazing. Krishna becomes food for his devotees. Krishna is food for his devotees. How is that? You should hear that lecture. Such an amazing nectar. So what we are hearing, we want to hear poison. There is Brahmar, bee, which goes to honey, but whereas there is a flies which goes to stool. It goes stool to stool and collect the nasty remnants. So are we bee or, so are we a fly or a mosquito? Hmm? So that we have to decide. So we have got this great fortune after so much of struggle. We have come here, and if we don't hear and read that one last purport I'll quote: every part of their body, from their feet to the top of their heads. This is describing in Brahma Vimohana Leela. Brahma is describing. Sukadeva Goswami is describing, I think. So the Krishna expands into all gopas, right? And then when Brahma sees, he sees all Vishnu's expansions. So every part of their bodies, from their feet to the top of their heads, was fully decorated with fresh, tender garland of tulsi leaves offered by devotees engaged in worshipping the Lord by the greatest pious activity, namely hearing and chanting. Purport: these forms of Vishnu were worshipped by those who had performed pious activities, Sukruti, for many births and who were constantly engaged in devotional service. And what is the devotional service? Shravanam and Kirtanam. This is the devotional service. Hearing and chanting. And Bhakti, devotional service, engagement of those who have performed highly developed pious activities. The accumulation of pious activities has already been mentioned elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada is quoting this verse. Punya Punja. And Prabhupada concluded the purport saying, in our Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, there is a tamala tree that covers an entire corner of the courtyard. Before there was a temple, the tree was lying neglected, but now it has developed very luxuriantly, covering the whole corner of the courtyard. This is a sign of hearing and chanting, pious activity. So these things we have to get absorbed in. Prahlad Maharaj's teachings. So not immediately jumping in 10th canto, discussing Gopi's pastime or this or that. So again and again we have to discuss these teachings. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard so many pastimes. He likes to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. But when it comes to Prahlad's teachings, Prahlad's Charitra, one more time, one more time, one more time. When we see rascal instructions, immediately, where is Leela? Where is Leela? No story. Only instruction, boring. But Chaitanya will say, one more time, one more time, one more time. So he's representing us. That should be our situation. Hear this instruction again and again, again and again. There's no hope in this material world. Hope dies last. There is a saying in English, hoping against hope. Prahlad's teachings. How many amazing nectar is given. So when we lend our ears, then we can dive in the mango river. And Srila Prabhupada wanted to steal rasgullas from Krishna's lunch box. So that is Krishna Tava Punya Habeba, and that famous prayer song which Srila Prabhupada had written. So he says he is desiring when he'll go back and steal. So if we want to play with Krishna and steal Krishna's mangoes, you can take some Salem Bengaluru with us. So offer to Krishna. And then one can be happy. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Any questions, comments, mistakes? Antara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.